Thanks for joining me in this segment. This is K9. Dropped into a zone to go do another side mission with heavy infantry. Gonna see if I can demonstrate for you a couple of different techniques that I use to get through these guys that I learned along the way. And we'll see if I can manage to keep from getting myself killed.
Enemy presence detected. Map has been updated.
Прошу поддержку!
Analysis complete.
You gotta extract him.
And I think the heavy infantry are actually far enough away that they didn't hear that gunfire and they're not alerted, which is
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
good for not complicating matters. And as you can see, my buddy Dee Dee the dog has already begun alerting.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
On these guys.
That's the
Analysis
target.
complete. Marker placed. Analysis complete.
And there's another guard post there, and I happen to remember that this happens
Analysis complete.
to be
Marker
one of the more
placed.
difficult guard posts. And if you engage these
Analysis
guys and they
complete.
alert on you, the guard post, in my experience, jumps in. So I'm going to use my experience from doing this and being sadly disappointed at how well I did it. By going in and getting the guard post first. And you can usually get within about 100 meters of these guys before they start taking notice, even 50 sometimes, before they start taking notice of you.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
And just from being in this area previously and doing this guard post before, coming at it from this side and from the ridge above them, it makes this guard post easier.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
There may be 4 guys here, there may be more. I'm going to go around the high side rather than taking the shortcut and risk that the heavy infantry actually alert on me and see me. And as is my playstyle, although I did tag the guys that I was interested in adding to my staff because their stats were higher all the way across the board. I'll show that to you again.
Arrived at your destination.
Mentioned it in other vehicles, but I'll show it to you.
He's coming too. Roger that.
His stats are all A+ or better all the way across the board, so although his support stat, his main stat, A++, would be good to add, the thing about adding somebody who's A++ but E in other areas is they detract from the other areas. So when you can find somebody who's got high consistent scores like that, they're actually more valuable than somebody that might be an S with a couple of C's and D's in there. Or so I've found.
You gotta extract him.
Now, logic would have it, if I don't mind dusting these guys, this weapon would certainly do it.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
So you take advantage of what you have available, including your available mortar.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Could I fire this up and take him out? Most certainly. However, if your intent is to actually add that guy to your staff, you don't want to do that. See, he's got a C in there for support, and at my level, on this account, he's probably better than some of the guys that he would replace.
Analysis complete. Marker placed. Analysis complete.
However, to get credit for this mission, I'm going to Fulton extract all of them anyway and let Miller sort them out at the base. So, how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to get over there first. I just want to point out that I'm wearing fatigues because I was doing FOB missions. And although I loaded up my non-lethal weaponry to make a point that I'm going to try and do this with low-level available items, I did forget to change my fatigues. So hopefully this doesn't go really bad, because then I won't publish it. I'm not going to show you that I'm an idiot. Okay, now watch this.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
I'm going to put in a regular decoy. It's a level 1 decoy. I'm going to throw this right next to this guy. And he's going to go, oh, what's that? And when you expand the thing, it stuns him.
Я нашел следы вторжения! Будьте начеку!
You have arrived at this destination.
The other guy's alerted on me. I'm going to go run for cover.
You gotta extract him.
Going to keep the terrain in between me and them. I'm in Afghanistan. There's lots of terrain. And try and flank them until they're less concerned with where I am. Ah, come on, get me up there. There we go. So what happened in that scenario, and I'm starting to get close to this guy, notice they are separated, which is a key element of bringing down a group of 4 of these guys, is that the first 2 guys were separated, so you take one out with an expanding decoy and pick up the second one because you ran across his field of view, making him track you with a weapon, which he wasn't able to do effectively. Got on his side, got close enough to him to CQC him, and took him down. These guys are on separate levels. I'm going to see if I can...
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
The answer to that was I got behind him.
Extraction arrived at
Subject
Mother
on board. Leave the rest to us.
Base. Guard post captured. of side ops list updated.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Extraction arrived at caution. Sandstorm approaching.
Moral of that story is don't leave your wingman, right? Those guys divided themselves and I conquered them. The first two guys, like I said, you throw down the decoy, expand the decoy, take the first one out, distract the second one with a magazine, come up from behind him, CQC him, throw him down. While the other two guys were alerted and I was at a distance, I had no means by which to fight them. None of my weapons would have been at all effective to them except maybe a grenade or running back to the mortar. So what I did was I flanked them, got behind them, figured out where they were. They were apart from one another by at least 50 meters, and I was behind the closest one, so you just sneak up on them, get behind them, CQC them, and then you're down to one guy, and it's not hard to work with them after that. So thanks for joining me, and I'll look for a couple other opportunities to show you some more techniques.